Hello, my name is Hunter Posey, and on behalf of my group, I would like to thank you guys for watching this short video with us. The Great Aztec People and Their Religion. Video creation / belief and doctrine slides were done by me, Hunter Posey. Founder and history slides by Presley Brower. Worship customs and ritual by Sam Sinclair. Unique info to the topics and holy days / holidays by Allison Schramm. History and founder. The Aztecs, who probably originated as a nomadic tribe in northern Mexico, arrived in Mesoamerica around the beginning of the 13th century. According to ancient Aztec religion, it took the gods 5 tries to create the world. These attempts were foiled because of infighting among the gods themselves. After he was knocked from his exalted position by rivals, the first creator, Tezcatlipoca, turned into a jaguar and destroyed the world. Under similar circumstances, the world was created and then destroyed with wind and then 2 floods. As you can see here to the right, we have Tezcatlipoca. He's half jaguar, half man, and that was his depiction. History and founder continued. The name Aztec is derived from Aztlan, variously translated as White Land, Land of White Herons, or Place of Herons, an allusion to their origins probably in northwestern Mexico. The origin of the Aztec people is uncertain, but elements of their own tradition suggest that they were a tribe of hunters and gatherers in northern Mexican plateau before their appearance in Mesoamerica, in perhaps the 12th century CE. Worship customs and rituals. The Aztec religion featured a wide pantheon of gods. Thus, many deities are worshipped by the Aztecs. Aztecs felt an obligation to feed the gods and keep the sun alive. Aztecs frequently performed sacrificial rituals, believing they satisfy the gods. Sacrifice of animals, objects, and even people were common occurrences, as sacrificial practices were performed throughout the year. During a human sacrifice, Aztec priests would use very sharp blades made of obsidian to cut open the chest of victims. The priest would then proceed to offer the still beating heart of the victim to the gods, as well as pour his blood onto a temple altar. It is widely believed that Aztecs participated in cannibalism as another form of ritual. On a less violent note, Aztecs also practiced the impersonation of various deities. Aztec priests would dress up and act like a specific god. Aztecs also enjoyed reenactments of religious events, also known as religious myths. The priest who would dress up as a god is known as Ixipitla. Beliefs and doctrine. The Aztecs were a polytheistic people. They worshipped over 1,000 gods. Most notably was the sun god, also known as Tonatiuh. They believed the sun god engaged in combat with the god of darkness every single night, and the sun rises each morning to save mankind from destruction. They also believed the earth was flat. Their doctrine features 13 heavens and 9 separate hells. In the ancient Aztec religion, it was thought that the gods commanded all life from birth to death. This is what motivated the Aztecs to please the gods. The Aztecs would conquer other lands and use the captives as human sacrifices to satisfy the gods. They did these activities in order to keep the gods happy. They believed this would result in healthy crops and fair weather and rain. One of the many ways the Aztec people attempted to please their gods was by human sacrifice. They believed that if they provided the sun god blood, it would rise again in the morning. The Aztecs held a firm belief in the afterlife. They cared much less about the life a person lived and a lot more about how they died. How they died was said to determine life in heaven or hell. If an Aztec died a common death, their soul would have to pass through 9 lives of the underworld before reaching Mictlan, the realm of the dead. However, a warrior who died in battle or a woman that died in childbirth would go straight to the sun god in the sky and or heaven. To the right, you'll see Tonatiuh. Holy days, holidays, and unique information. A few of these would be rain festivals, the Cuauhtémoc festival, and the New Fire ceremony. The rain festival is celebrated 3 times a year. The first one was celebrated in February, and the second one was celebrated in March, once flowers had bloomed, etc. The third rain festival was celebrated in autumn for rainfall. In the third festival, the Aztec people have created images of the god who was imaged to be on a high mountain. The Cuauhtémoc festival is celebrated in August. He was the last emperor, and he is celebrated every year in front of this statue. The Aztec New Fire ceremony. The Aztec calendar is divided into 18 months, and they have added a 5-day unlucky period. They would identify 52 years being a century, and at the end of those 52 years, they were scared that the world would end, which is when the new fire ceremony was held during these periods. To the right, you'll see, oh no, run back one. Yeah, to the right here, you'll see the Rain Festival. So a quick Google image search, you'll find things like this, and that is what a Rain Festival looks like. Okay, holy days and holidays, unique information continued. Okay, so we have two more here. We have the Kekoli. Yes, we have the Kekoli. We have the Kecholi. We have the Kekoli Festival. The Kekoli Festival is celebrated on the 280th day of the Aztec year, and at the end of the 14th month. This also happened to be the same day weapons were made. Occurs every year on the 21st of March, and it happens to be a beam of sunlight that hits the Alcastilla pyramid that brings something important to them. They will do dances, poems, etc. until they see sunlight hitting the pyramid and the feathered snake god. The Chichen Itza Festival. Festival of Zealand celebration was celebrated for 8 days starting in June. Celebrated in honor of the maize, every night unmarried girls wearing their hair long and loose, which represented their unmarried status, carried young green corn in offering to the goddess in procession to her temple. A slave girl was picked to represent the goddess and dressed up to resemble her. Last night, she was sacrificed in a ceremony. And to the right, you'll see Chichen Itza, the most famous temple of the Aztecs, pictured here. Alright, so we would like to thank you guys. It may have been a little bit of a struggle sesh, but we'd like to thank you guys for listening to this from Hunter Posey, myself, Presley Brower, Sam Sinclair, and Allison Tram. Thank you guys, and have a great day.